Hi everybody, welcome to another Broken Meeple video. If you like what you see, remember, thumb up the video, share it on social media, but most of all, just get your comments down below and possibly consider subscribing to the channel. I'd certainly appreciate it. So, with this episode, it's the fear of missing out. I've already done 2 of these now, and it's proved to be quite popular actually, so you know what, why not continue doing it? The only thing I might work on is the timing, because a lot of these Kickstarter projects seem to be ending and starting at the start and end of a month, and there are occasions, much like one today, where I'm pretty much doing this episode like about 5 hours before the campaign's going to end, because a lot of them keep ending in the center. So I'm going to monitor that over the next few months, and it may just mean that I need to alter whether I do this in the start, middle, or end of the month. It could just be complete coincidence with recent Kickstarters, but it's just one of the things I am kind of noticing. But yeah, without further ado, let's get stuck in. There's a bunch of ones to talk about, most of which I haven't really had much of a chance to look at in detail, but they've come up as names to look at, and you know, they're certainly getting talked about, so I want to give my 2 cents, as well as kind of, while I'm learning about it, you can learn about it with me, you know, that kind of thing. Isn't that nice? So let's start off. Whoop, let's get down. Here we go. Hopefully you can see me in the bottom left of the screen. I'm testing this new format here to have more of the window on show rather than everything else. So what have we got here? We got Keyforge, Winds of Exchange. This is essentially, when's this ending? It's got 11 days left. It's on GameFound. To be honest, my history with Keyforge was that I kind of bounced off it, really. I don't think the game is bad, but this whole, oh, I've got a unique deck thing just felt like such a gimmick. I wasn't really that big a fan of it, and I just got bored with it, really. I never got attached to any of the factions. They never seemed like it actually mattered, you know, what do I care about these factions? And the whole card game itself was fine, but some decks were more powerful than others just by default of the algorithm. I just got bored, yeah. It was fine up to a point. There is a local club, my Southampton Games Cafe actually does run a Keyforge night, so there are some people I've seen still playing it, but for me, meh, I wasn't that interested after a while. So this one's basically, what do we got? We got another house, so another faction basically. Again, some generic faction I'm not going to care about. They will have their own rules, some more tokens, token creatures, but other than that, it just seems like that's basically it, really. So, you know, do you want to get all the play mats and all the, do you just want the starter set for this? Do you want the original starter set? Do you want a bunch of decks, a weird plushy toy, or whatever that monstrosity is right there? To be fair, I'd actually rather have that plushy toy, because then I could have it alongside my my little fish geek. It's so fluffy. So I'm loving that. But that's probably the more useful thing I'd get. But yeah, I guess if you want more of this, then there's more Keyforge. Although, what is this $150 pledge though? What are you getting in this? Just perfect for the average Keyforge player. I don't see $150 as being the average Keyforge player. Although, Novice, alright, Novice of the Crucible, so this one's giving you, what we got, 2-player starter set and a Winds of Exchange deck. Okay, so $50 you want to get in, that's not too expensive. So what does this one add? It adds playmats, 2 of them. Wow, 12 Winds of Exchange decks, a personalized deck, and a personalized playmat. So this is like a ton for the new content. How many decks do you get in the original? 2 Winds of Exchange deck and a starter set. It's not the cheapest way to get in there, but I guess if you just want a bucket load of decks, then you're in luck. But for me, Winds of Exchange is just kind of one of those things where I'm like, meh, it's more Keyforge, and I don't overly care. So, okay, fine, let's wrap that one up. So next up, we're going to look at, I'd say, the next one is Legacy of You. Oh my god, 13 hours to go, yeah. I deliberately wanted to get this episode done before this one finished, and I was running short on time. Now, people might think, well, it's Shem Phillips, it's Garphill Games. Of course you're backing this, Luke. Nah, I'm not backing this one, and I'll tell you why. This has got nothing to do with whether I'll like the game or not, at least not to an extent. I'm just not desperate for another campaign game right now, and that is what Legacy of You is. I mean, it looks cool. It's got the artwork style that I think Hadrian's Wall and others had, so it looks like a cool game. But again, it's going to be on retail anyway, as far as I can tell, because it does say receive your game before it becomes available on retail, so I'm assuming it will come out on retail. But other than that, you just get a promo pack. I'm not that fussed. I don't even own the 2 other games that it gives you promo packs for. This also, I mean, the mechanics sound good. Worker placement, deck management, resource management. I am fine with this. And a legacy campaign, you know, at least it might have a story in it. Although, to be honest, a Euro game with a decent story, not something that's a great thing. But it's mainly just the fact that I just don't really need a solo game like this with a Euro setting right now. I can try it later, I'll try it on retail, but there's nothing here that's making me go, ooh, I really want to back it right now. I got enough campaign games to play as it is, I don't need another one. I'd like to see some reviews for this come out, you know, from people I trust after the fact, you know, not like preview videos as seen there. I want proper reviews when it comes out. And we'll see what it goes. I mean, Hadrian's Wall, I gave a 6 out of 10. If this is in the same vein as Hadrian's Wall, maybe I'm not going to be that desperate for it. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not hating on it. I reckon it could be quite good, but for now, I'm just willing to wait. You know, I was more desperate for the Viscounts expansions rather than rather than this really, and so I'm just kind of like, yeah, could be good. But I haven't got time to really try it now, even on TTS, and there's other things to focus on right now. So I figured I'll wait and see. But if you want to get in on this solo legacy campaign, then you might want to get a move on, because by the time I edit and release this video, hopefully tonight, you're not going to have many hours left before it finishes. So get in on that one. Okie doke, right. Let's move on to the next one. 6:55. I got to note down these timestamps. Robomon, the tabletop adventure. It's only got a day left. So, yeah, when I saw a preview of this, I mean, you look at that cover, and the first thing that comes into your mind is, Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all, copyright. So it's just like, that is basically what this is. I mean, look at it. It's basically little critters that you blow up in Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's mixed with the Pokemon theme, and it's even got Mon on the end. This literally is Pokemon with robots. So Pokemon matched with Digimon, matched with, I don't know, matched with all sorts. 1 to 2 players though, 30 hours? I'm pretty sure that means 30 minutes, I hope anyway, but an exploration-focused, story-driven open-world game of robot discovery and combat for 1 to 2 players. Interesting that it can be done with 2 players, but again, this would just basically be a solo mode. But yeah, man, this is screaming Pokemon all over it. How is this not getting sued? There must be something on here that says about it. I'll bet it's in the comments section, but I don't want to go near there because the comment sections on these can get pretty... Oh, 30 hours of gameplay. Right, well, that's a lie, but okay, fine. We're talking... How much is it per session? But yeah, it is basically Pokemon with robots, which, to be fair, does sound like quite fun. Actually, wouldn't mind seeing this. And Robomon Rangers, okay, so that's the challengers. I mean, blimey, is Team Rocket in here somewhere? So you can team up or play it solo. I gotta admit, it does look interesting. It's certainly giving off that, like, the pixel, like, Game Boy Pokemon style games. So you mark what you do. You've got character sheets and stickers. Thematic background music. I mean, like I say, just put on the Pokemon series, you'll probably have a similar deal, but I don't know, maybe this is good fun. It certainly looks interesting. I wonder how much it is. Tournament of Titans, whatever, not interested in the expansions. What have we got here? So, deluxe upgrade. So you get the expansion, you get, ooh, a nice leather card holder. That's pretty cool. And some wooden tokens. Okay, fine. Oh god, more expansions, here we go. So it's like, we haven't even released the game yet, we don't know if it's any fun or not, but let's give us just a bucket load of expansions. Woo! $125. Or you can, where's the normal game? Here we go, whew, $80. $80, not including shipping and VAT. And how much is shipping? I don't remember seeing the shipping anywhere. What have we got? Stretch goals. Let's see, preview. Yep, okay, preview. Yep, can't really rely on these. So what have we got here? So $80. Ooh, UK $15. I mean, that's looking about $100+ for the game, including VAT and shipping. I mean, this could be interesting. I mean, it's certainly one that I would give another look at, maybe in more detail, but that's quite a lot of money for a solo game. I'm not a massive Pokemon fan. I used to play the card game when I was in college, and I know of the series. Detective Pikachu was okay as a movie, but I was hoping for better. I don't know, really. It looks interesting, though. I mean, I was expecting this to be throwaway with the fact that it was basically Robomon Pokemon ripoff, but you know what? this actually looks interesting, so I'd be interested to hear some thoughts on this after it's released, but not one for me to back, and to be honest, I don't think anything on this, well, actually no. There is one on this on my list today I think I might back. We'll get onto that one. Alrighty, oh boy, rant incoming. Oh dear. Yeah. We have the Dune War for Arrakis. Okay, so we know my thoughts on Cool Mini or Not. They rip you off with their Kickstarters and they try to shove a ton of miniatures on you, not to mention their shipping rates are off the chain. Who remembers the calamity with the previous Kickstarters where people got lumbered with $100 to $300 shipping rates at the last minute. So, Dune. Well, this is already going to have its fans because it's Dune, but I don't know anything about the lore, so I'm not going to recognize anything apart from the normal houses and that, and I don't know about this war. But this kind of just looks like a typical dudes on the map, almost like, what have we got? Is it Blood Rage style? Everyone's got their own player board, so you upgrade units, deploy vehicles. You've got miniatures for everything. You've got, well, that looks quite funny actually, putting a miniature in a sandworm. That's pretty amusing. I quite like that. But what else is there really? I mean, okay, we get it. Is it just a two-player game? Is that all it is? Is it just Harkonnen versus Atreides? Well, Karina and Fremen, but is that it? I thought this was going to be like a big group thing. This is just for 2 players. Well, it says 2 to 4, so I'm guessing you split the side up into the 2 little mini factions. I don't know. They've tried that with things like Star Wars Rebellion and stuff like that in the past, and it never usually works. Okay, so the card art is feasible. It's fine. There's a bunch of components. Usual preview videos, bunch of miniatures as normal, and here we go. Here's classic Cool Mini or Not. Look at this, 100. Look, more miniature, extra scope, more miniature, more miniature, more miniature, more miniature, more miniature, more miniature. It's just constant. But here's the problem. Even if I was interested in this game, and I'm not enough of a Dune fan to really be interested in this game. I mean, what are we talking? $110 for this? Here's the problem, the big problem. Let's scroll down a bit further. I've been seeing Facebook posts up for this. Shipping information. Here we go. Based on past experience, we'll be charging shipping after the Kickstarter concludes. You don't say. Based on the actual costs incurred to ship. Okay. Depending on where the world you are, you will either ship to you from our hub in the EU, or, look at that, UK backers, Asia and that. Okay, fine. So what are these costs? Holy ripping hell! Gotta be careful not to swear. Oh my god, look at this. So, the UK hub, right? This is a hub. We apparently have a hub in the UK, okay? Or somewhere around the EU to post this stuff. $66. Are you friggin' joking here? The US is still paying loads. I mean, look at this. You want to live in French Guiana, Guadeloupe or something, $150. South Africa, $140. Most of the states about $58. Okay, so $50 still. I mean, crying out loud. Latin America gets screwed with $92. Oh, sorry. The EU, most countries, $62. I mean, if you're unlucky enough to live in Norway, yeah, sorry. Sorry, Board Game Ramblings, you're going to have to pay an increased shipping cost of $75 if only you didn't live in Norway. Although, to be honest, I wouldn't say no to living in Norway much. But, Switzerland even. Canary Islands, Iceland, oh, my buddy Hilmar. My buddy Hilmar, who runs the convention up there, and who's a good mate of mine. $123. I don't see Hilmar wanting to back this one anytime soon. This is ridiculous. I mean, for crying out loud. And that's not even including the VAT. VAT will be calculated on the Pledge Manager for those who are part of the European Union or UK. So you've got to pay 110 plus 66 plus 20%. Oh my god, how do people still back this? I mean, how many backers have they got? 3,766 backers have got more money than sense. Because these shipping costs are, in some cases, more than the value of the game. If not, they are at least half of the value of the game. In shipping alone, before taxes. How much money do some of you people on Kickstarter have to chuck away at a game? Is it just because it's Dune? Is Dune so amazing for you that it feels warranted? I mean, come on. It's not like, I mean, you know, it's an okay setting. It had a okay deck builder worker placement game. It had a horrible movie. I mean, come on. Well, I don't know about the 80s one. It had a horrible recent movie. But, grr, seriously, why are you willing to spend over $200 on this? This does not look like $200 worth of game. I ain't backing it. No way. I'll wait for it to come out on retail, and then maybe if I can get a review copy, I'll review it then. But yeah, screw you wanting this at this kind of price. No way. Why are people still backing this kind of stuff? I don't get it. I mean, that was 3,766... Hang on, how does that work? 3,766 backers, and yet 5,000 backers. Alright, so that must be like a couple of thousand people literally just betting $10 just to get in on the pledge manager. Whew, that says a lot. But yeah, I have no interest. I've not really got that much interest in the game, frankly. But yeah, it's just not going to be one for me, especially not at that price. Alright, moving on to Dawn of Eulos. I don't know a lot about this one at all, but I recognize the role player tale thing. So yes, I like role player. I've got the game. I think role player is amazing. I've also got Role Player Adventures, which I thought was a really, really good game. It's now sitting on the shelf waiting for expansion content, because I don't see why you would play it a second time through. Well, maybe a second time through, but I can't see it happening anytime soon. But I really enjoyed my actual playthrough of it, so I'm interested in more content. But the spin-offs are not so much. I mean, Lockup was kind of meh, and the Cartographers for me is kind of meh. So this one being another role player tale, is this just going to be another meh affair? I mean, what you got here? Manipulate the rise and falls of mortals and shape a new world in this tile-laying game. Ew. Is that how it looks? Oh my god, I mean, that is cryptid levels of bland-looking hexboard. Please tell me it looks better than that, and that was just a construct... No, it actually looks like that. That's... Ugh. I can't say I approve of the way the board looks. I mean, I guess it will be easy to recognize what terrain is what, but yeah, that looks very disjointed and weird. Now, it does have some interesting miniatures, and the artwork is still the cool artwork that this role player series has had. And interestingly, that the entire role player series has had Seal of Excellences, although it's very difficult to rely fully on the seals of Dice Tower anymore, because as much as, well, these games came out before they started using like 8 different guest hosts on the channel, so I suppose these are actually still 9 out of 10 games, but the problem is the seals now require only one person out of the entire posse to give it a 9 or a 10, otherwise, in order to get a Seal of Excellence, which doesn't make sense to me. But I give Role Player an 8 out of 10, possibly even a 9 out of 10. I can't remember, actually. It's one of those two. So I think Role Player and the expansions are fantastic, so by all means, check out my reviews on all of those. Actually, I don't know. I can't remember if I've reviewed Role Player, but I've definitely reviewed the expansion, so check out those videos. Cartographers, Seal of Endorsement, I'd give it a 7. I think it's okay. Lockup was kind of a 6 for me, 6 or 7 max. I just didn't really get into it as much. Tom really liked it a lot more. Roleplay Adventures would be a solid 8 or 9 out of 10 though, but again, being a campaign once through game, it's not something that can make my top 100 because I played it, now I'm kind of done until they release more content. Plus, this Role Player Adventures side story book was a bit of a rip-off for what you got in it. I mean, it gives you about like 100 stories that you can possibly go through. You will use 2 in a session by yourself. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of wasted content. But we're supposed to be talking about this. So what do we got? So you develop existing territories, you put hexes on. Oh, so you can actually terraform the area, so that's not too bad. Invest in factions cheaply after they first enter the map, or pay a premium after they get better. And then pit armies against each other. Okay, I mean, the gameplay sounds pretty cool. You know, I'm interested in this whole, you know, grabbing armies and developing them or getting in later. Play as a god, manipulate factions, 5 out of 10 factions each game. Okay, cool, so they've got differing variety. Some player mats, the map tiles, let's see, some miniatures, some faction miniatures. So not a ton of components. How much is it asking for? The normal retail one, $84, £73. I mean, that's quite a bit, and that's presumably not including this stuff. I mean, oh, so you can't even buy the... Oh, no, oh sorry, no, $59 for the basic Dawn of Aeolus and the Rift Tile Pack. So, oh, I see. So it's $84 if you want the Metal Favor tokens, which do look pretty sweet, actually. I mean, you could use those as currency in a few games. So, I'd be tempted to grab those Metal Favor tokens if you're going in on this. What's this one? 5 more Rift Tiles, whatever, that's something else. So, why back? Get it first, at least 1 month before it hits retail. I'm not that desperate to get a game 1 month before it hits retail. I mean, that's assuming I'll even get it played in that month. Support a small publisher, though, can't argue with that. And you will not be able to get the Metal Favor tokens through retail. I can live without the Metal Retail token. So, I mean, $59 is not that bad price for this game. But again, just previews. Is there anybody I can jump on board with to trust here? Well, it's all previews. Yeah, I mean, like I say, nobody I know, nobody from a small creator background that I spotted there. So, come on, support small creators. Get some more small creators to do some of your previews. But right, okay, so shipping. That's not too bad, actually. I mean, $20 is not too expensive, considering the current crisis, although curse you lot in the US and China and Hong Kong that can somehow get this for $10. That is annoying. But, yeah, Thunderworks is cool. I mean, Keith's a cool bloke. This looks interesting. I don't think it's interesting enough for me to want to back it, especially with the shipping on top. I can live without the Metal Favor tiles, but I would be interested to give this one a look when it comes out for retail next year. So, yeah, the summer is usually a quiet month, so if this comes out on retail around the late summer, I'd be interested to try this one. So, if you're a fan of the Role Player series, give it a look. Failing that, I'll wait and see, and I'll look to give it a review or something in the new year. Okie doke. Right, moving on to the next one. What have we got? Merchant's Cove Mastercraft. Alright, big box expansion for the critically acclaimed Merchant's Cove. Okay, what exactly is it critically acclaimed here? Game of the Year Meeple Town. Game of the Year nomination. I think it was a Game of the Year nominee. IG Gaze, I can't even read it. Game of the Year. What is that? I'm going to have to lean forward. Hang on a minute. No, I literally cannot read who gave out that. I can read that there was a Meeple Town and a Dice Tower. The other two, I can't even read the text. But, oh, here we go. Hungry Gamer mainly does previews. Meeple Town, I guess. Meeple Town, yeah, fair enough. Are they relatively small channel? I can't recall. Game of the Year. Oh, Game of the Year for Mike DeLisio. Right, I was going to say, yeah. Because he's an absolute fan of this. Unfiltered, number 4 solo game of the year, best game of all time. Yes, well, Mike DeLisio. I mean, yeah, Mike DeLisio loves this game. Most of the other people in the Dice Tower kind of bounced off it, though, I will say. But Final Frontier have done a couple of interesting games. I mean, what else have they done? They did, let's see, 10 created. Let's see, are you seeing this page? Yep, you're seeing this page. So, Bardwood Grove. No idea. I haven't looked into it. Monsters on Board. I've heard very bad things about the way the components interfere with the game, so I haven't gone near that. Coloma was okay. I played Coloma. It's not one I kept, but I'd probably play it again if somebody wanted to. Here's where things go a little bit downhill. Things like Rise of the Nobility and Robin Hood and the Merry Men. But like I say, all their games look gorgeous. The problem I had with Merchant's Cove is this idea of... here we go. Are we on the right page? There we go. The problem with Merchant's Cove, though, is not the fact that I reckon the game mechanics are bad, because I don't know. I've never played it. It sounds interesting, and it looks gorgeous. I mean, I can't deny that this artwork, the components, and everything makes this game look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Here's my problem with Merchant's Cove, though. It's one of those games where you take what is being done in terms of everybody controls an asymmetric player. So here you've now got a pastry chef and a game maker and stuff like that. But basically with this game is everybody is doing merchants stuff, but everybody is doing their own thing. You have a little bit of a central mechanic, but everybody else has their own board with their own way of how it works, which means like Root and like a bunch of those other games, you have to teach an entire new game to every player on the table before you can even start playing. That just kills this game for me, because I have no interest in teaching a game that's going to have people trying to learn their own thing, of which somebody is going to struggle with their bit. I won't be able to help them unless I know how every single one works, and now it wants to give you even more of them? I mean, blimey. If it was easier to get this game to the table, I would consider it more, but yeah, if you're a Merchants Cove fan, you've already probably backed this because you love the game to death, but this is why I never jumped on Merchants Cove. It looks gorgeous, and I'm sure it's a fine game, but I have no interest in trying to teach this game. So if I can't teach it, how am I ever going to play it? And would I enjoy the game enough to play it solo? I don't know, really. I mean, presumably you can play it solo. Of course you can play it solo, because Mike DeLisio put it as one of his favourite solo games. But would I enjoy the game solo? I don't know. The problem is, I think you've got to buy an expansion to play it solo. I'm not even sure you can play it solo out of the box. I thought it was an expansion, but actually I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere on this. How much is it anyway? £60 for the expansion, 69 quid if you want the base game. Of course, there's going to be a bundle to get everything, so this gives you everything. Innkeeper, Oracle, Dragon Rancher, Mastercraft, Stretch Goal, Secret Stash, and base game. Game Maker Merchant, Loot Pack, Rogue Pack, all this stuff. And that's for £186 to get everything. I mean, this is an expensive game to invest in. Really expensive. And that's, I mean, because all of this, was it the Oracle that was a solo expansion? I can't remember what the solo expansion was. I swear one of these was a solo thing. But at least you can get some reviews of the actual game. So, I mean, Mike DeLisio has done a lot on this game, so by all means. Has anybody I know done it? No. Interestingly enough, nobody I know has really played this game. Interesting. I wonder what that's to say. But, what else we got? Shipping. There we go. So, Mastercraft. So, if I want to take the bundle, I need to pay, blimey, 30, 40, 60 bucks. What's Zone A? UK. Oh, that's not too bad. 30 bucks to ship all that. 18 and 18. Okay, maybe it's relatively, cost effective. Although, again, we got to pay VAT in the UK, so that screws us a bit. But, I don't know. I mean, if you're a Merchants Cove fan, I think you're going mad for this. But for me, like I say, just because it's a game that's not practical for me, it's one I'm probably gonna skip. Okay, next up. Sagrada Artisans. So is this an expansion to Sagrada, or is this just a... Nope, this is its own unique game. 1,000 backers, 87,000. So dice drafting and stained glass window colouring. Well, isn't that what Sagrada always was? So what's the difference with this one? A legacy game. Okay, so you... Wait a minute, really? This is a game where you get coloured dice and make a little stained glass window pattern. It's got no theme to it. Is this really something that people were crying for? A legacy game? So you compete as rival families, each chronicling your construction of a cathedral's windows over a campaign? This just... Why? Why a campaign? This doesn't need to be a campaign. It was a filler game that was something if you couldn't afford or didn't want role player, you got Sagrada, because role player is better than Sagrada. But nobody cried out for a 10 campaign scenario game, surely. Now, if you can play them individually as scenarios, then fine. I'll go with that. But just a journal campaign for this game, that just seems mental. Now, it will have pretty dice, a story deck box, okay, fine, some coloured pencils, really? We're making a big deal about coloured pencils, alright, fine. Some legacy stickers, board, so not exactly a ton of components, but, you know, there is stuff, and well, I suppose all these stickers will have a use. Yeah, how would you... Colour blindness, okay, so... Ugh. I hope this is enough of a texture, because to me some of these look a little similar or would be difficult to spot at a distance, but I'm interested to know how people who are colorblind have coped with Sagrada. Wow. Okay, no, I do not need to spend $250 on a dice tower. No, 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 no. More money than sense. Skip. Do not do that. Wait a minute. So... You have to pay $50 to get a campaign reset kit. So you can't even reset this after you've played through the campaign. Wow. That's asking a lot there. So you basically... This is a one-shot game for $75, which mainly gives you a bunch of like pencils and a couple of deck boxes and stuff. That's a lot of money. And what is this? I mean, Sagrada Artisans, a reset kit, a booster pack, and that dice tower. Right, forget the dice tower. So $130 for what looks like a roll and write, effectively, legacy game. That's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous cost. And that's probably not even before, that's probably before taxes and shipping as well. But, oh man, no way this game is that much. I mean, come on. And again, reviews the usual. Hype, hype, hype. Yep, so again, I can't trust it right now. Seriously, give it to some smaller creators. I don't trust the same people who don't hate on any game or don't give opinions. I want people like, well, actually, I could give Game Boy Geek, actually. Yeah, I'd say out of this lot, yeah, Game Boy Geek, give him a look. But seriously, give it to some small creators. Right, okay, so shipping. Oh my word, $20 as well. $20 on top plus the VAT. That's a lot of money for this game. I'm sorry, but you have just priced me out there. Even if I had any remote interest in the fact that this was basically just a one-shot legacy game, I mean, couldn't you have made this resettable for the price? That seems a little bit insane that it's a one-shot. And it doesn't even say if you can play individually, actually. That's something I haven't noticed. There's got to be something on here. So, okay, Dice Tower, Boost Pack, yeah, get involved. How to play. Right, okay, so, right, you play for a campaign of 10 windows. Can you... Oh, here we go. Continue your saying or play these windows separate from the... Alright, okay, so... Alright, so you can play some of them separately. That's okay. Alright, I'll give you a... I'll take back the one-shot thing. I still think it shouldn't be one-shot, but I'll let you off a little bit for the, you know, being able to play them separately. I mean, that's okay, but still, that's a lot of money. A lot of money for this game. Way more than I think I'm willing to play. So, whoop, I've just minimized the screen there. Don't worry, we'll get it back as soon as I've done with the timestamps. Okay, come back. There we go. Right. 2 more to go. Right, let's move on to the Fox Experiment, which sounds incredibly creepy and dodgy if you think about it for more than 5 seconds. Yeah, I was like, Fox Experiment? Is it? Oh, okay, it's a nice game. Okay, but this is getting everybody hyped. 4,000 backers for a Pandasaurus game. $280,000. I mean, only because it's fairly cheap as far as I'm aware. But here's why it's hyped. Look at the name on the cover. Elizabeth Hargrave. Yes, the same lady who did Wingspan. And credit to her, Wingspan's in my top 100. It hasn't even appeared on my top 100 list yet, and I'm already up to 41. So, spoiler alert, it's higher. But, yeah. It's a phenomenal game. Whether you like it or not, it's done wonders. So, obviously, any game with her name on it is going to go nuts. Although, didn't she also do Mariposa? The butterfly one? I might be wrong on that, but that one didn't really get much buzz. And that's not a joke. So, what have we got then? The Fox Experiment. I know very little about this. I mean, it's got a very cute cover. I mean, that is adorable. Oh, the little fox pupper is so adorable. I want to cuddle it right now. Wow, I mean, that's pretty good looking artwork and nice looking components. Little fox meeples as well. Lovely little pictures. So what do you do in this? You breed your own domesticated foxes, and each round you select a pair of fox parents who have certain traits, gain those trait dice, roll them, then try to move them around to make trait symbols. Okay. You then gain trait tokens and then use them to pass on to the new pups. Alright, who can be chosen as parents in the next round. Game ends after 5 rounds. You'll gain points for pleasing patrons, blah blah blah. Okay. I mean, it sounds nice and cute, although is this basically just a dice game where you roll and hope for the best? $55 retail edition is not a bad price for what looks like a full box game with 80 dice and 40 meeples and a bunch of boards. I mean, that is and all these cards. I mean, that is a very reasonable price, actually. Is that $60 for the Fox Experiment Kickstarter edition? So what's 55? So wait a minute. $5 difference. So 1 copy of the Fox Experiment Retail Edition and all unlocked stretch goals except those marked Kickstarter exclusive. And then you get all the Kickstarter exclusives. So what's Kickstarter exclusive in these stretch goals then? That's only $5. So what you get? Some components upgraded. So you get a bunch. So you get screen printed meeples, heat transferred fox meeples. You get metal tokens, a few metal tokens, some plastic token. 136. Why would you buy the retail version? It's $5 difference. And you get all of this on top. How is that? How do you go from this to that for only $5? That seems ridiculous. I don't get it. Yeah, if I was backing this, I would back it at $60, no questions asked. Wow, $30 to make this 5 or 6. So hang on, so $5 to beef up most of the components in the box, and then another $30 to add 2 more players, of which, if we know anything about games, adding more players tends to suck. Okay, I can only imagine that this does nothing for the game except make it longer. I have no interest in buying a 5 to 6 player expansion. Ooh, but neoprene mats. Ooh, nice. Although, hang on a minute. So, enough for the base game in 5 to 6 player expansion. So, if I'm buying these mats, that means I'm going to get 2 spare that I can't use because I wouldn't buy this expansion. That seems a little bit. $100 and get it all, though. Whew, so 60, 90, and 110. So, $110 and you save $10. Well, if I'd read it, it would actually explain it for me. I mean, that's $100 is not a bad price for all that content at that quality. I mean, it's pretty good bargain. But the thing is, there is a live playthrough of it, though. I might have to go watch the playthrough and see if the game would interest me. But anything else? So what do we got? So Dice Tower looked into it. Anybody I know? Elizabeth Hargrave herself. No, that's about it. Okay, fine. But it does look good. And I think this is just all their other stuff. So not much else to go there. What was the shipping? Shipping. Wow. I apologize if you can hear some noise outside. That would be a lawnmower. But don't worry, I ain't got long for this anyway. Where's the shipping? After we'll be charging actual shipping costs. Okay. Our goal is for the average shipping cost for backers to be under $25. Yeah, not much I can do about the lawnmower if you can hear it. Right, okay, so $25 for the UK. So, alright, so $125 to get all this. That puts it in a £100 bracket. I don't think a dice throwing game is going to be worth $100. I don't care how much you make it look good. But $60, though, is very tempting. I mean, if I can survive without the playmats, which I know is hard for me to do, but then that's $80. That's still a lot of money. I mean, this is the problem with Kickstarter at the moment. Everything's now so expensive because of everything that's going on in the world. It just makes it very difficult to actually justify a Kickstarter purchase. I mean, if this is coming out for retail, then I'm going to lose out on those components. Although, can you get this? Oh no, you get the stretch goals in the $55 one. You don't get these meeples or the upgraded components. This feels like a bit of a cash grab here. I mean, you know, the fact that it's only $5 difference, but if you wait for retail, you're missing out on all of this. So you could wait for retail and save on shipping, but if you decide to just go in the extra $5, you've then got to pay all the shipping and VAT on top. So that seems a little bit dubious. But I don't know. This is the one from this week that I'm tempted to back. But I don't know if I'm willing to spend all that money on what looks like a dice game. I've got to go back to work soon. I'm literally recording this in my lunch break. This is how much I'm having to squeeze in this stuff here. But, yeah, we'll see. I'll give it a look. Oop, dropped my pen there. I'll give it a look. I'll see what it's like, and I'll watch the playthrough on the Dice Tower, and I'll make my decision. But this is the only one I'm considering backing, but that price is still maybe a bit too high. Okie doke. Finally, very quickly, Pueblo by Mojito Studios. So this is Wolfgang Kramer again, Michael Kiesling, so a decent combination, although can't say they've really done much in recent years to wow me over. But this looks like a very simple game. I mean, $35 for an early bird pledge. That's a very decent goal. I mean, what have we got? $35 for a copy and a postcard. Whoopie-doo about the postcard. Normally it would cost $50 because it's including the postcard. But then it's $35 instead of $40 if you just want to get the new Pueblo. Is this a game that's already been... Is this an old game? Is this just a reprint? Let's have a look. What does it say? Is there a background to the game, or is it all just... Well, there's the rulebook. Oh, episode 37. Oh, this must... Oh, right. This is an old series on the Dice Tower, so this must be a reprint of something. Doesn't explain much, though. How much for the UK? Ooh, $17 to ship it, though. That is quite a bit. But... Where? Ah, good, the lawnmower stopped. But it doesn't explain anything about the game. What is it? So this is literally just a reprint. I mean, the game itself sounds interesting. I mean, you put a bunch of coloured blocks on this board and you move a token around the edge of it. And the idea is that you are trying to hide your block colour behind others. So move the chieftain along. So check which coloured blocks the chieftain can see in a straight line. You deal penalty points. And then you got garden tiles and a few other bits like that. I mean, it sounds like an interesting game. $35 low plus 15, so you're talking $50 for this. $50 is what, about... I mean, it doesn't actually convert the currency, but you're talking what, like £40? Pound is really weak against the dollar at the moment, so you're probably looking at about £40 for this game. Is it worth $40? And it doesn't look like you're getting anything in here from a Kickstarter perspective, unless you want like cloth bags and stuff, which, oh damn, those do look really nice actually. Ooh, for $5 as well, that's pretty cheap. I mean, forget the stupid postcard, but wooden chieftain tile for $4. A turntable. Ooh, I like that. That looks pretty cool. Rotating tray where to fit the game board. That's pretty sweet. I like the idea of that. So I mean, you could make this pretty cool, but I've never really played it. I might have to go watch that Dice Tower video and see, but I like the concept of it. I don't know if I'd want to spend all this money on it, but yeah, I mean, it seems interesting, but this is as much as I know about it. I've no idea, I don't even know when it came out. I mean, it doesn't have the BGG link on here. Let's see, BGG Pueblo. There we go, Pueblo. It came out when? It came out in 2002. Wow, this game is old. And it looks like a nice snazzy reprint. I'm up for trying an old game. Yeah, I mean, this is Michael Kiesling and Wolfgang Kramer in their prime. Oh, great, lawnmower's back. I think we'll start wrapping this up anyway, because frankly, I think we're in a good spot to stop. Not much I can say about that game other than the fact that it looks interesting. So yeah, there's my Kickstarter roundup for this one. In terms of the like pick of the week or something, I don't know really. I mean, for some people it's going to be Legacy of You. Legacy of You is definitely going to be interesting to some, and I probably would have backed it if I really wanted a new Kickstarter. The Dawns of Eulos looked pretty interesting as well, but I think I'll just wait for that on retail. Honestly, I think my pick of the week is probably going to be, for the price you're playing is still quite expensive, but well, yeah, it is quite an expensive price. Legacy of You could be one, but I don't know. Let's have a look. Legacy of You was, what was it? It was only $70, so it's not that expensive either. $37. Yeah, I think I gotta give the shout out to Legacy of You. Actually, it may not be one I'm backing, but Fox Experiment was very tempting to put on the pick of the month. But it's just, for that much money, I'd expect it to look good because it's already pretty pricey when you add the stuff on. This one though is literally only charging you 70 New Zealand dollars, so £37 plus the shipping to get it. That's cheaper, and there's quite a bit of content in here. So yeah, I'm giving it to Legacy of You. Well done to you. But anyway, this is just my humble opinion. So that's it for me. Thanks for joining me on another Kickstarter monthly video. Hope you're still enjoying these. By the sound of it, you are. But until next time, remember you can thumb up the video, share it on social media if you can, and of course subscribe to the channel. Consider, putting your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts about any of these. Have you backed any? Are there any you're looking to back? What's stopping you? Do you hate the shipping prices for stuff like Cool Mini or not? Does Sagrada like completely completely sound ridiculous in terms of its cost to you? Let me know your thoughts down below. So until next time, you can check out more content on the channel, including some reviews that I've got going up this month, not to mention some preview content for games like Kingdom Come Deliverance are coming soon, but also don't forget the top 100 is still going with my 50 through to 41 that's just been released. Take care, and remember as always, regardless of whether you gotta put up with noisy lawnmowers or not, it's still only a game. Bye for now.